You have to imagine that I found another one, and I gotta say this one's really disrespectful. Get the fucking pigs out of Pride. Yeah, I have no idea why someone would be against gay police officers. And to get them out of Pride, like to want them out of gay Pride, that seems pretty. That's pretty shady. There. That's. I don't understand. You know what? Policemen have a hard job. They have to They have to help ungrateful people like the person that posted this without any thanks, but they get a paycheck, so that's good. But another thing, wouldn't you want gays to be recognized in law enforcement? Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't that be a good thing for the LGBTQ plus? I guess that's what you're calling it. But yeah, I don't see why anyone would be against a gay police officer. Also, to call them pigs? Yeah, I don't think a pig would come to your rescue, buddy. Just saying. I mean, calling a police a pig, that's a real insult right there. Yeah, I'm not expecting any police to help you in the near future. But I'm gonna talk about three officers who not only have helped LGBTQ plus people, but who are actually LGBTQ plus officers, and they should be commended and honored for their work. And I don't know why you want to keep these people out of your pride. Xavier Jugal, a policeman killed in Paris, was gay rights activist. Tributes paid to policemen who attended the 2015 attack on the Vatican Concert Hall and worked in Greece helping migrants. When the Vatican Concert Hall reopened in 2016, a year after the terrorist attack in Paris, which left 130 people dead, Xavier Jugal described his happiness at seeing the venue once again open its doors. "I'm happy to be here," he told People magazine in an interview. "The Bataclan is reopening. It's symbolic. We're tonight as witnesses, here to defend our civic values, the concert to celebrate life, to say no to terrorists." Jugal had been a part of the response team that rushed to the Bataclan in the wake of that attack in November 2015. But this week, another night of terror took his life. Jugal, member of the Paris police force since 2010, was killed by a gunman on the Champs-Élysées in the Thursday night attack, which French government is treating as a terrorist incident. Now, going into this, does this guy seem like a terrible person? Does he seem like a pig? Because a pig wouldn't risk his life for other people, you know? A pig wouldn't do that. On Friday, it emerged that Jugal was proud defender of gay rights, a member of the Flag, a French association for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender police officers. He had joined protests against Russia's ban on homosexual propaganda before the 2014 Olympics. Officer praised his commitment to his job, adding that he had been to Greece to help police officers struggling to cope with the numbers of migrants who had crossed the Aegean Sea to find refuge in Europe. He was a simple man who loved his job, and he was really committed to the LGBT cause. Mikhail Bruchan, the president of the Flag, told the New York Times he joined the association a few years ago, and he protested with us when there was a homosexual propaganda ban at the Sochi Olympic Games in Russia. Jugal, 37, joined the Parisian police force in 2010. After serving in the Germany, he was due to move to the Judicial Police, an agency that pursues suspects and serves search warrants. Born in 1979, Borges. He grew up in Romorantin-le-Thenay in central France and was a civil union with his partner. He was aware of the risks of the job and the terrorist threat, although he did not speak a lot about it, said Buchurin. He was a great man and a friend. It is a big shock to us. Yves Leburet, the General Secretary of the Police Union Unite SGP Police Force, Overner said Officer Jugelet was an excellent colleague, while the French President François Hollande said an official tribute would be paid to the officer. So, I'm guessing this is the kind of person you want out of your pride, am I right? That's who you want out of your pride. I guess Jugelet gave his life for the people he cared about, for his cause, and everyone involved. But for some reason, you think he should stay out of pride. Hero cop who dragged shooting victim out of nightclub. This article takes place right after the Orlando shooting, and I know it's about a year after. So, this cop dragged this injured man out of the nightclub and then visited him at the hospital later, the day after, actually. I will not be covering the full article for just time reasons, but I will link it in the description along with the article before and the article I will try to cover after this one. Sorry about that. It's these videos, man, they take time. The police officer who dragged the shooting victim out of Orlando nightclub as a gunman fired rounds at the crowd spoke out about saving the man's life. Omar Delgado, a police officer with the Edenville Police Department, was on patrol when he received the call stating that Orlando Police Department needed assistance with an emergency just before 2 a.m. Sunday. When he got to the scene, an officer informed him that an active shooter was still inside the club. That's when Delgado heard a round of gunshots. I don't even think he finished the sentence when we heard more shots go out, he told ABC News. After the shots were fired, 3 or 4 officers, including Delgado, then entered the building through the nightclub's patio. Several people who were yelling, screaming, and crying were running out of the nightclub as the officers ran in. He said, calling the scene like something out of a movie set. The club was dark, aside from the lights behind the bar at the disco ball. Delgado said he noticed up to 25 bodies lying on the dance floor and called for people to get up, saying, "We have cover for you." Delgado recounted the conversation he had with one of the people he saved, Angel Cullen. Delgado had informed Cullen that he would have drag him, and Cullen, wounded by gunshots, asked if the officer could carry him instead. Delgado and Cullen reunited yesterday at the Orlando Regional Medical Center, where they embraced while Cullen's crying family looked on. The Edenville police officer called the reunion very touching and very emotional, noting the big smile Cullen had on his face as soon as he walked into the hospital room. "I was glad I was able to help him out," Delgado said, adding that Cullen told him that they are now family after what they experienced together. You see that's the kind of heroism people expect from a police officer. Delgado could have easily still dragged this person, saying, "I don't care about what you want, my job is to get you out of here, I don't care if you're comfortable," and drag them out. But no, Delgado carried him while the guy was still shooting, by the way. And I don't get it. How is that guy not worthy of your pride, huh? And then, just like it's icing on the damn cake, He visits the guy he saved at the hospital, and the guy was grateful and appreciative that his life was saved by Delgado. No, you guys would rather just call police pigs because that dehumanizes someone. And if you dehumanize something, your hate is all that more justified. And that's what the racists do. So, I don't get what you're trying to accomplish. Next up, we have DC police officers save life of lesbian domestic violence victim. Now, domestic violence is a serious issue. It's not unique to a certain gender or sex, and anyone can be hurt by a loved one. But this is the point I'm trying to get at here. A policeman goes through rigorous training to deal with things like this when they occur. 6th District DC police officers Justin Roth, Joseph Devlin, and Derek Dude were working the midnight shift on August 21st when they received a radio call for a domestic violence assault in progress. The 3 officers arrived on the 4400 block of C Street, SE, minutes after other officers who arrived ahead of them saw a woman kneeling down over another woman who was lying on the street bleeding, according to the police affidavit filed in DC Superior Court. The woman kneeling, who was later identified as suspect Maya Shayla Moore, 25, sprung to her feet and ran from the scene as the other officers chased and quickly apprehended her. Meanwhile, Roth noticed that blood was spurting from a stab wound on the victim's right thigh, at a rhythm consistent with her heartbeat. The police affidavit says the officers then applied basic treatment to all the wounds. Officers Devlin Dude rendered first aid to complainant 1 by putting a tourniquet on complainant 1's right thigh by using an unknown citizen's belt, the affidavit says. DC's Fox 5 News, which was the first to report on the incident in September 8 broadcast, reported that police officers and emergency medical technicians arriving in an ambulance believed the woman would have bled to death had the officers not acted quickly to halt the bleeding from severe artery through the use of the tourniquet. Thank you for saving my life and allowing me to have a birthday on Sunday, Fox 5 quoted the victim, telling the officers. Moore has been charged with assault with intent to kill while armed in connection with the stabbing incident. A judge ordered that she be held in jail while awaiting trial. The police advocate says Moore and the victim had been in a romantic relationship for at least 2 years. And in development, the experts on domestic violence say it is not uncommon. Court records show that Moore was arrested for allegedly assaulting the same victim, her girlfriend, in 2 separate incidents, one in June of this year and the other in September 2013. In the incident, the victim told police Moore struck her in the face once and hit her in the face a second time with a closed pocket knife, resulting in her being taken to Howard University Hospital for treatment. Another police advocate says. I am not going to cover the rest of this article. If you want to do that, you can go to the description because I'll be posting the links to all 3 articles covered in this video. So, yeah, that's it. So, in closing, that woman's life was saved by police officers who didn't care that she was gay, who didn't care that she was in an abusive relationship. They took care of her anyway, and if they hadn't intervened, she would have died. So when we talk about get the fucking pigs out of pride, why? Well, why would you disrespect people who would willingly risk their life for you? It blows my mind sometimes how people can say stuff like this and post it. I don't know.